Welcome back to Friday Night Racing with the Cobra E Series. Tonight, the Cup boys invade Talladega Super Speedway. We're coming down to, oh, by the way, just the old man McButters here coming at you. I'll be joined again here tonight, shortly in the booth by Brink. And like I said, we're here at Talladega, and we are coming down to our second to last race of the regular season. We'll take a quick look at points for right now as it stands. Let's just take a look here quick. Cup standings, here we are. So as we go into that second to last race here, we're going to be, we believe we got still P. Cola Gator, still our points lead with 609 race points. And behind him is Sharp in that second spot. He has fallen, let's see here, 16 points. Third place is GCR Clashin'. Fourth place is Blakey T. Fifth is Drunkfest. Sixth is Marini. Seventh is Mopawa Celtics. And in the eighth and final spot right now is Mike G. In the number 9 spot is Big Jim, so he's 4 points out of that 8th spot. And then that's 9th. 10th is Draven. He's 18 points back. And then your 11th place is GTR Jacob. He's 47th. And rounding out your top 12 is Sauce. He's 52 back. So, with 2 races to go, like Mike G is in that 8th spot right now, but it's anybody's game here between him, Big Jim, and Draven. But if you want to put Mopawa Celtics in that 7th spot, is also is in that talk since he's sitting in that 7th spot. But yeah, like I said, we're coming at Talladega here. Everybody that knows league racing or e-racing, these super speedways, it's a crapshoot. Guys can win it. Any guy can win it, especially if you have, like tonight we had in Xfinity, we had a late race caution. And we had a couple guys move from 12th, 14th, and end up finishing like 3rd and 4th. So, them things are, super speedways are crazy that way. But yeah, as I said, I believe they're qualifying right now. So as I'm doing some reading here, guys, sorry about the little sorry about the delay here. I'm just trying to figure out our link to share a link to our Discord. So DK, if you're watching, Taddy is not racing tonight in Cup again. If he's got a softball tournament going or what. But yeah, I believe I figured it out. So yeah, as we're waiting here, sorry about that, guys. Um, just trying to do some things on the end here. But let's take a quick peek here at the point standings for team. Looks like Gas Gorilla Autosports has a 6 point lead over Venom. So there's a battle there for that team title yet. In running third is Litzen, 35 back. Eclipse Racing in fourth, 94 back, and Black Bear Racing is holding up the basement there. He's with a whole 442 points back from the team championship. So yeah, it looks like we got our that all situated. But yeah, now we can concentrate a little bit. Like I said, we're coming into Texas. We got, or I got Texas, but Talladega tonight. Next week we finish out the regular season, I believe, at Texas. And then that's going to determine our top 8 going into the start of the playoffs. So, like I said, we're coming down to the end of season 3 here at Cobra. And it's just been phenomenal this year as far as, just the racing. The way the points have been, I mean, it's a tight race. I mean, if you looked at the points from first through 10th, possibly 11th, it's, I mean, you're going to have 3 guys in most leagues are playoff caliber drivers, but it's just the way it is with a part of only taking the top 8 here that, we decided a few seasons ago, let's go 8 guys, get the best of the best in the playoffs, and let them battle it out from there to have a champion. So, like I said, super stoked tonight. Super speedway racing. I'm personally a big fan of it. I love broadcasting it. There's always going to be action and stuff there. Hopefully, these guys are going to take chances and go, too wide. Hopefully, we get some guys lining up on the outside, making some runs. The only time super speedway gets a little boring is when it's just a freight train on the bottom. But I know these guys. There's enough talent. I know there's going to be teams working together. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting for sure to see if what we get going here. I want to see who's interesting, who's going to form that outside line, who's going to be the first group of guys. Like I said, I expected that first stage. It's going to be a lot of give and take. Guys are going to just try to stay in line. Then their strategies between the team is going to start talking. What they need to do at stage. Between stages. If we're gonna, obviously they're going to have a pit stop that last stage for sure. Um, so yeah, like I said, I like watching. I really like watching. Yeah, Blakey. Yeah, unfortunate, man. Hope you're staying safe there out there and where you're at there with your battling the floods and stuff. Couple trees. Uh, Hope you're staying safe. Like I said, you'll be missed here to this week. I know you're in that playoff run, but yeah, hopefully all is good with you back there at the house. And like I said, stay safe out there, man. And so Denke, yeah, you're talking, yeah, Taddy. I'm not, like I said, 100% sure Taddy what he had. What he had going on this week, but I got the invite or to go to get in here. So as we load up here, thanks for joining anybody that's watching. I'll periodically try to take a look at the YouTube channel, see what we got for chats out there. But yeah, like I said, as we load up here, really excited, man. Like I said, this is going to be a good race. All right, so here we go. Pick up the action here. I'm not sure what lap we're into or what's going on here, but it looks like Chewy was our pole sitter here. And it looks like he's shuffled out on the outside a little bit here, sitting on the outside. Riding around here with P. Colligator, something must have happened. So we must have had an issue right off the bat here because P is out riding by himself. Unfortunate there. He's on a Sunday cruise. I know how that feels. I've been there and done that. Let's get the leader up here, and then we'll go through. So it looks like the number 21, a Klein boy, in that Ford Mustang Quaker State sponsored machine there is your leader right now. So yeah, as they're lined up here, we're riding along here. The number 88 of Mike G. Number 11 of Sharp. 48 of Sludge driving the Ally Chevy Camaro. Your Pulsar number 12 of Chewy. The number 1 of JCR Clashin'. The 4 Draven. And once again, Pico Legator. So, oh, and here we go. We got the number 9 of Sauce. 42 of Mo Power Celtics. 24 Big Jim. The number 3 of Wasted riding around in 4th place. With the number 11 of Sharp. So we got a couple packs here. It doesn't look like too much team. Not too much guys with the team yet. I'm sure there's a few guys running. So yeah, it's pretty much a single file right now. Like I said, they're kind of hanging low. Just kind of returning some laps, you know, trying to see what's going on with guys around them. Looks like there's another car that has lost the draft to the back of the pack. That's number 22, a colleague. So I don't know if he got shuffled out or had contact or what happened there, but the number 22 of that Eclipse Ford Mustang of colleague. Let's get back up here with the pack. So, like I said, folks, once again, with not no in-race reporter, it's going to be hard to tell with laps. Give me a second here. I'm going to try to get on the other TV and see if I can pick up somebody's stream. But yeah, as we're riding along here in this stage one, riding along here with Mike Marini, a playoff driver, riding in around that 6th spot or so. So this is kind of an important night too here. You know, like I said, with the super speedways, guys can it can make or break some guys. I mean, if you have an unfortunate break, I mean, it can be devastating. Riding around here with the second place car, Mike G. Mike, there's your 8th and final playoff driver as of right now. He's the guy that's 4 points ahead of the cut line. So he's riding around in second. He's got a lot of line on the line too. You know, it's kind of a decide. You know, when are you going to get aggressive, or are you just looking out to maintain points? Are you racing points? Or are you racing win? I mean, these are all decisions these guys all got to make. So yeah, folks, excuse me, trying to get a stream up here, or at least see what we got for laps. I'm not sure what's going on. Sorry, folks. I'm trying to get a stream up on my other TV, and it is not working. It keeps kicking me out of YouTube. Let's try this again, folks. So yeah. So I guess we're going to be kind of out of luck here because my YouTube, I'm having issues with my YouTube. But yeah, continue on here. It looks like we're still in a straight line. Still got that leader of, I believe, of Kleinboy still. So I believe he's led this whole stage so far. Like I said, not too much action going on. So looks like we got 14 cars in that lead pack, so they're pretty much riding around. Like I said, we're going to have a stage break here. I'm assuming it's going to be coming up here soon. So there we go. Looks like finally got in. My YouTube finally let me without kicking in. So it looks like we might have. I don't want to say I didn't have a chance to do too much of my homework here this week. Been another busy week at work, but they might be having a pit here in this first stage. So these guys might be having some green flag pit stops first and maybe the third stage. If that's the case, if I remember right, second stage, I believe they do not have to. But by looks of it, I believe it's going to be a possible pit stop here. So it looks like we got this pack of leaders. Looks like they're going to be catching up to that. I believe that's Piccola that must have had an issue at the beginning of the race, and he's up front there. I caught him just right there. He was in the TV screen. So these guys are obviously going to catch him. It's going to be just interesting if someone's going to let him in. Oh, looks like we got our leader is signaling the pit, so we are going to have green flag pit stops. That's going to leave. It's going to be funny to see how the 88 and the 18. I believe he's pitting. I believe he made the signal, the 21. So with the 18 and the 88, if they're going to stay out in our lap, and it looks like your leader is coming in. He did lead that whole stage. Also, I see Piccola is also pitting. He was just on the verge of going down one lap, so he just decided to come in and get his fuel now. They'll put him at the back at the end of the stage. So kind of a smart deal there by Piccola. But yeah, the leader comes in all by himself. Being the leader of that whole stage, running up front, he obviously he's burning the most gas out there. So it was interesting that he was the only taker in that pack to come down. So that's going to put him back out by himself. And it's going to be interesting here. How many guys are going to come down this, or they're going to go down another lap, and if they're going to run it all the way out. So take a look at the rest of the pack. So I believe they're all going to come down. Yep, we got guys signaling on the backstretch. So I believe most of these guys, if not all of them, are going to be coming in here together. So this is going to be interesting. You got big groups of guys coming in on the pit road. Excuse me. All at once. Sometimes you get a lot of beating and banging. Guys hit each other. They end up getting a speeding penalty. So it's going to take to see what happens here. So most of them do come down. 6 of them stay out on the tracks. So it looks like there'll be the number 9 of Sauce here. So, but obviously this next pack, yep, they're all coming in here. So that looks like a team thing. I believe that's most of Lipson's team there working together. So if you see guys taking on pit road, we got Sharp, number 11 is Sharp coming off, 48 of Sludge. He's got heavy damage on the front of that car. The number 12 of Chewy coming off pit road. 18 of Gator Mike. I believe Mike is running in that 8th spot. So that puts Draven in 7th. And that number 4 Ford Mustang Bush Apple Limited Series sponsor or flavor beer by Busch Light. Busch Light's is my favorite beer. That's the beer I go to. Personally, I've tried those apple, one maybe two to the max. I don't think I could ever put a full night of drinking in on that stuff, but yeah, big fan of the Busch Light product and the beer. So it looks like that first pack came out in front. So it's going to be interesting here if they're linked up or if this outside group, this next group, if can go high, in which they do. So they all stay linked up top. I believe they're going to have enough cars and enough run. They're going to overtake that group there that's running on the bottom. Question is, can they stay together? And it doesn't look looks like the 4 and the 18 dropped down the bottom. But now they bounce back out. They're going to get a run on the number 9 of Sauce. And you got 4 cars on the outside again as the 4 and the 18 drop back down. So they're getting the runs up top, but they're leaving the guys up there that's helping them. So that could come back later in the race. You see those guys that are running at the top, was that clashing, and you know, they pushed that 4 and 18 up there to the lead, and then those 2 guys dropped down and kind of left those other 2 cars hanging up front. But it looks like they've all moved into line. Well, Dinkate's out there watching, hey buddy. You're rooting for, you're believing that the 88's going to win. Hey, can't go, and there's nothing wrong with that pick for sure, buddy. And he's also saying Coors Light is his favorite beer, his go-to beer. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of guys that drink it, like it. I don't know, just personally, Dinkate, not a fan of it, but you know, hey, it's whatever wets the whistle, man, and what makes it work. So your race leader right now is that 4 car of Draven with the number 18 of Mike in second. The third goes to Sauce. Is that Big Jim? Big Jim riding there behind Sauce. Mike G, JCR clashing. I believe that's Jacob in the 20 of 3 of Wasted. The 19 of P-Cola, which I believe is a lap down yet, along with colleagues. So I believe the last 2, the 19 and the 22, are lap down, but I believe P-Cola would be in that lucky dog spot. As we come around here, check around, see if I can get a lap count or. Two laps to go in stage 1, folks. So they're on the backstretch. So they're coming down this time by here. They're on the backstretch. They're going to be coming down. They'll be taking the white flag, and they're making some moves up front. They're pushing and banging. This spreads things out way out. We're going to get on Big Jim here. He's kind of in the middle of this pack, I believe. Yeah, he's leading that outside charge. We're actually got almost 3 wide. We got a couple guys stuck in the middle. The Big Jim drops down to that middle lane, leaves Wasted on the high side himself. He drops down there behind the of 88 of Mike G. As they're coming out of turn 4. Mike G. So this lead pack. They're right along with the 18. So they're coming out of. This must be the white flag. Sorry about that. So you got a couple cars move up to the front. Leaves the number 9 hung out to dry again. He did move up a couple guys. There's a couple guys behind the number 9 move up. They're beating and banging as they go into, I believe that's into stage 1. So your winner of stage was Draven, second was Mike, third was Jacob, fourth was Sauce, fifth was JCR clashing there to end that stage 1. That's your top 5. So it looks like we're going to have, I believe is the second stage is also going to have green flag pit stops. Very interesting. So at least with the stage break, we're going to group the guys all up. We're going to check in here with the number 1 at GCR Clash, and I believe he's in the middle of that pack, starting in, and he drops down to the bottom. Did he have an issue? Did he not pit? He seems to be falling back and letting the pack go. So we're going to jump back up here with the number 40 or the number 4 of Draven. So right off the bat, we're still running 2x2, so they haven't all fallen in single file yet. So it looks like the number 9 of Sauce is leading that outside pack with a 24. Big Jim right behind him pushing. But Sauce dives down. He finds a hole there in the bottom lane, so he dives down. So now the guys are trying to work to get down. Big Jim finds himself down. I believe Sharp dropped down. And also Klein Boy, he all dropped down. Yeah, it was certainly an unfortunate event there for Kleinboy. You know, he had a strong car. He was running up front, leading that whole stage 1, but he just, you know, staying up there the whole time, he just burnt more fuel than the other guys being in a draft. So it's one thing about downfall about leading a long time. You want to be just leading at the end. I mean, somehow, you know, within that last so many laps, but he had a strong car. We'll see. You know, like I said, anybody can run, get up here and get a win at Super Speedway. So it looks like that outside line's got a form. We got a taker, that number 42 of Mopala Celtics up there. I see a couple other cars up there. I believe is that colleague and Kleinboy. We'll see if they can stay together. If they're willing to stay together, see if a couple more guys are takers and jump in there with them. See if they get something formed to the top. But as we see that, it's just like a thunderstorm that dissipates. It all just kind of fizzles away and they drop back down to the low line. So we're looking at it with Draven's your leader, the number 18 of Mike, second, the 20 of GTR. Jacob running third with Mike G in fourth. The number 3 of Wasa is your 5th place car with the number 9 of Sauce running in 6th. Honed in here on Pico Legator, still back here. He's running in the back. I believe he's on the lead lap. So he's probably out there he's kind of cruising. He is your points leader. Biggest thing is what his goal is tonight. Obviously, the ultimate is to get the W, but he's got to keep pace with Sharp. He's got to stay within a reach of Sharp or get ahead of Sharp. Sharp is your second place car in points, and he's these guys are best of the best. I mean, so that's why P. Cola is probably as your point leader. He's just watching Sharp, making sure he doesn't get too far away from him. Hopefully he doesn't get caught up in a wreck, something mishap like that. Oh, number one, a JCR Clash jumps out to the front. I don't know if he jumped out in front of a run of a car. But you got the 1, the 42, the 48, and the 21 running a 4-car pack up top. Just as I said that, the one bails. I know it's hard. Personally, I ran the Xfinity race. I believe I went up in that high line, a few times, but it's so tempting. It's so hard to resist if you get a hole underneath, to take that spot instead of staying up there and hoping guys stay together. But there's a car, I believe. Yes, the number 10 of Turf Tech. He must have got banged out of the draft again. So he lost the draft. He's back there running back of the pack. Like I said, I've been there. It's boring. But you just got to remember, you can either caution come out just as fast, or you got that stage break coming up again. So I'm trying to see what we got here. We got how many, we're trying to look here. We got a few Fords linked up. We got a couple Fords, a couple Toyotas. The teams are pretty much spread out. I know some teams are pretty thin tonight as far as car number or teammates. So these guys got to figure a way if they got into party chats, with some other teams, if they're running, working with another team. Yeah, as I was sitting here watching the racing here, riding around with the number 141 and Mike Marini. This guy, if you want to know the definition of a solid driver on this game, that's Mike Marini. This guy, I'm not saying he never wins. He gets a win, but this guy is always running up front. He's always in playoff hunts. He's always in the playoffs. And but he's not, he's never up there getting tons of wins. But if you get this guy to finish in the top 5, I would like to look at statistics and see how many exactly top 5s Mike Marini has. So it's, like I said, it's just a true definition of a solid driver on this team. And he's dependable. He's there every week for his captain. So like I said, shout out to Marini. Straight up guy. Race against him in the Canadian East Series. But yeah. I'm going to jump over here to Mike G running 4th, I believe. Yep, he's running 4th behind the number 20 of GTR Jacob and Mike. So there you got a couple teammates running up front there with the 20 and 18 there, a couple Toyotas. And then you go back for gas. You're running here with Sharp and Picola, your first and second place cars in the regular season, and also never actually to say that they actually are teammates also. So it's quite a battle they got within the on a team there. So, but them two guys are hooked up about middle of the back of the pack there.
Well, what's up, Butters?
Hey, there we go. Now we got the man. I can take a break. Everybody, yeah, we got Brink in the show. Did you get your invite?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm
Okay.
watching the race. I have
Okay.
a little crutch. My voice is not in the best of shape.
I noticed that before when we were talking.
So, but yeah. So I guess Chewy was your pole sitter, and your outside pole sitter was Gator Mike, and here we are now. The leader is the fourth guy.
Yep. Yep. They managed to squeak out that lead, or he got that first place at the end of stage 1, and he's held the lead now since the beginning of stage 2 here. So I believe the top 3 or 4 have pretty much been the same from the start of stage 2. So been a little bit of Brink, a guy's trying to form that outside line. Mentioned a couple times they get like 3-4 cars up there, and then 2 will bail. So the typical super speedway. I was kind of explaining before, you've been there where you'll move up, and it's so tempting when that hole opens up underneath, because obviously that's where everybody's at. It's so hard to resist to pass that up and stay on the outside.
But there's a trust issue, so if you're going to do that, no one's going to trust you, no one's going to work with you.
Right.
So that basically depends on who you want to work with. I usually have a couple of guys that I trust that I will work around, guys that I race around a lot. Guys that I know aren't going to try and screw me out of a position just for their own sake, especially early on in a race like this. But then there's guys that even if they're working with you now, they may not be for that much longer. Like you said, they get a hole that opens and
we
then
got
boom,
15 laps remaining here in stage 2. And they will have a green flag pit stop again.
What was I going to say? Are we going to pit here soon too?
There will be. They should be coming up here in the next 5 laps, I would say.
See, Gator Mike stream, I guess, this one I saw. I mean, yeah, everyone's just being patient. Stage 2, if you're getting stage points here. Plus, you got to look at the point standings. And you'll start seeing, especially as we get down to the end of the regular season, guys are going to be fighting for the last few playoff spots. We were just doing that in the Xfinity race where Mr. Williams and Piggy are battling for the final playoff spot. So just to make it.
Right. I mean, there's going to be, like, with Blakey not racing tonight, obviously he's going to lose a ton of points. But I was talking about Mike G was your 8th and final guy, and he only was 4 points above the cutoff. So you got the guys that are in 9th and 10th. I mean, it's a big night. These guys are, I think, got to be looking at points racing. Talking to P a little bit for the race, he said he's just got to go where Sharp is. He doesn't want to lose a ton of points to him tonight, but they're battling for 1st and 2nd overall.
That's what it is, just a win.
Right. And I know P must have caught a tough break at the beginning of the race. I missed it. He was actually running by himself. He actually went a lap down in stage 1.
So Blakey T is 62 points above the cut line. He could drop out. Kind of depends on what Big Jim or Draven do. Draven wins, that'll be huge.
Right.
Big Jim right now is 9th in points. Last year's champion. He's sitting there. He's missed a race. That didn't help. He actually missed 3 races, Big Jim has. So that hasn't helped his standings, but he's here tonight. Am I wrong?
Yep, he's running. He's driving the 24, yep.
Sort of leading this second pack because he's been backing away from the 3 car there. They're getting a little squirrely down the back straightaway. I don't know if they just can't hold the line or if they're trying to make decisions.
Yeah, they pretty much have been running single file here the first 2 stages. A couple times, like I said, they tried to form it up. The end of stage 1, it got a little dicey. They were kind of trying to make some moves up front, trying to get that final run. But overall, it's been pretty much right here what we're watching.
Well, there's Wasted. He's making a move on the outside. I don't know if it's going to stick. Nobody's really there with him. He's going to end up losing more spots. Well, he got back in line, so Big Jim letting them back in. A couple of guys working high side. The 48 is one of them. That's SMK Sludge. You got to call up this week. Or has he been in that car now?
You know, I'm not 100% sure.
No problem with Cats now there with number one car of Clasham. They're teammates. One of the 42. And then the 42 leaves his teammate, goes right, like you said earlier, went right back to the bottom. And even your teammates.
So yeah, obviously, so in stage 1, Kleinboy led that whole run until up to green pit stops. So obviously him, you know, by leading, he burnt the most fuel. So he actually, I believe it was 2 laps to go. He came down the pit road and he was the only one to come down. So he
had to.
Yep, he had to, and pretty much destroyed his stage. But you know, like I said, that's one of the biggest downfalls of leading a lot. You know, and you're burning the most fuel out there. So obviously, Draven's been running this whole stage up front. Obviously, he's going to be one of the first ones going to have to come down to pit road. Mike's probably been saving. Jacob's probably been, you know, enough that they're probably going to go an extra lap again.
Mopile Celtics is another one to look at because he's in 7th in the points right now. And he's also missed as many races as Big Jim, but he has one more win. He's 11 points ahead of Big Jim, 3 points ahead of Mike G, who's the last spot, that, as we know.
Right.
For the playoff.
That's why I said I was kind of explaining. You know, it's a barn burner, man. It's coming down the last 2 weeks here in Texas next week to determine our top 8. So.
Oh, looks like we're quitting.
We got some takers.
The 88 didn't signal. I'll be interested to see if he goes down. Mike G. I stayed out, you know, you and Higgy stayed out at that last race, the Xfinity race. And I kind of wish we didn't because that cost us front. We didn't lose too much, but we couldn't stay out in front. And we didn't have the advantage of our good pit entries with Wilson had. No, we didn't.
So it looks like the number 4, Draven, came down, and then all of Gorilla came in. Their 4 Toyotas came down, and the 22 of Colleague this first round. So
we'll see if this time, you know, there's more cars that had stayed out an extra lap. Although no one else is signaling. I wonder if they're not going to put.
Well, the 48 signaled, but I think he was just if he just went below the line because I didn't see anybody else signal yet either.
Sure, we got pushed high by the 3. So end up losing spots here coming up. Right? One guy is pitting, that's the 48. He's going, he's by himself. So he'll be hoping to get matched up with the guys who already pit. But like I said, they're going to be at full speed when he's coming off pit road.
Yeah, them guys coming off pit road are just heading onto the backstretch.
Ooh, Draven went up early into the turn, and nobody was coming, but I don't know if that's a rule break. All right, everybody but the 88 has signaled. Now the 88 is signaled. But I expect the rest of these cars, Mike G included, to come down the pit lane. 2 extra laps they ran. Stage 3, that could be big.
Right. So it looks like, but I'm looking at it, the number 12 of Pico Gator is... Yeah, he's back on the lead lap. So those guys are together, the whole Gorilla team.
I am nervous that Long Live the Sauce just sped on pit road, by the way. Sorry to cut you off. But the 9 came in pretty hot by himself. But
did he?
I could be wrong. I'm nervous for him, though. Like Marini, we got like a splash. No, the 9's coming out, so he's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looked like a very quick pit stop on the 41 car. Probably just took fuel. It's Mike Marini. He is 6th in the points.
Here comes that pack of 4, I believe.
He's up on the track, too. I mean, I stayed on the apron all the way to the backstretch earlier. But all these guys seem to be getting on in turn 1. Marini is well out ahead, but he is going to get freight trained because nearly the entire field is going to be together here in a short second. top lane on the straightaway is at full speed. The bottom lane is getting up to speed.
That pack of 4 has caught him, so here we go. They are humming.
They caught them, but Mike Marini is still way out in front. All by himself, too.
Yep, and all 4 of those guys are just going around Mike G now, I believe. Just went around Mike G. So you got the 11, 19, 18 still moving up, but I believe the guys in front. Oh, they go high again, but I believe the cars underneath. I think their run up top is going to snuff out. As the rest of the guys have got up to speed.
Oh, long live the sauce. He stuck with him. He went right to the bumper of Marini, and that's gonna keep him up front. He could have just went around him, and everybody would have went with him. That's low power Celtic in the 42 car, kind of in the middle here. He's getting behind the 18 now. The 11 is sharp. That's big. Piccola in the 19. Those guys are teammates, but they're both battling for the points championship.
So you got a pack of 8 there, Brink. 4 on 4.
And there's a couple of guys a little behind them. Looks like
5. So it's a 4 high, 5 on the bottom, and we got a drag race here going. These guys are.
Yeah, the high line composed of mostly Toyotas. We got Big Jim, Piccola Gator, and Gator Mike, as well as the low power Celtic.
Celtics jumped up from the bottom to get on that with those guys.
You got Klein in the rear.
Oh, maybe not. I'm wrong.
Now Celtics might be going behind Klein.
Yeah,
that's just going to just kill the top line.
Right.
Well, Mike Marini held on to this lead here in stage number 2. Coming down to the closing laps here in the stage. We got 3 to go when they crossed the line that last time.
Yep.
Now, keep a lookout for who is trying to back up. The 9 is not backing up. Long Live the Sauce is just right underneath the 41's bumper. He is pushing him all the way down the straightaway, all the way into the turns. But who's backing off? The 11 looks like he's backing off. The 42 might be backing off a little bit here. Are they gearing up for a run? Who's going to lead that run? The guy who should lead it is sitting in 5th. Because if the 21 got out of line with a run and everybody behind him went, that would be the dominant line.
Right.
Mike G's sitting pretty in 4th. Big Jim's sitting in 3rd now. And Sharp and Piccola, who were pushing on the high side, are now at the end of this pack. Single file. This is the last lap right here. Who's going to make a move? Who wants that stage victory? Or they're just going to hand it over to Mike Marini in the 41. Nothing down the back straight. They are coming up on a slower car. Not sure he'll be a factor. Oh, here Mike got a little bit below the line there. Got back in line. 42 tried to sneak up high. Nobody's taking a risk here. Nobody set themselves up either. Gonna be
I think it's a number 9. If Sauce did back up a little bit. Here he is. He's the winner outside.
He's got some help. Does the 41 hold on to it? The 88's pushing the 41. Oh, the 88. The 18 got high. I think. But
here we go.
Won that stage.
That was the end of that stage.
That was the end of the stage. I believe Marini still came across in 1st. Sharp ended up 8th. Piccola 9th. Long Live the Sauce pulled it out. Number 9. He got the stage win. Mike Marini 2nd. Big Jim 3rd. Mike G 4th. Fine Boy was 5th. Mopal with Celtics was 6th. 7th was Gator Mike. 8th Sharp and 10th. Piccola Gator. Just outside was JCR Clashon and Chewy running 11. No points for those two, however.
There you have it. Your results of stage 2.
All right, Butters, I'm going to go mute for a second because I got to take care of something real quick. I'll be right back by the start of the stage.
No worries, no worries. So yeah, we're lined up here for third and final stage. You got the green flag as they go battling down or hammering down the front stretch off into turn 1.
It'll get a little squirrely. The clashing got pushed up high. I think Chewy might have, both of them might have lost a couple spots. Did somebody take less tires? No, I guess not, actually. It was an illusion. But Long Live the Sauce going to lead them down the back straightaway here to start stage number 3. I'll tell you what, though, my eye, I think I've said this before in a couple of races I've broadcasted, my eye is on the 18 car. He's sitting 13th in points. He's made every race. He has not had a top 5 this season. Remarkable, as we know, that he is one of the top competitors. Actually, I think I mistakenly called Jim the defending champion earlier. That's wrong. Mike here in the 18, he's the defending champion. I'm sorry I did that. My bad. He was battling Big Jim for that championship, and ultimately the 18 came out on top. And he's running around here in 5th place, starting the stage number 3. He leads that team of Toyotas, gas. He's hungry. He's been waiting for this particular racetrack, so just keep an eye on that 18 car. A year ago, it was a different story for him, a season ago, but this season here at Talladega, he's been waiting. He had it circled. The 88 goes up front now. Looks like Long Live the Sauce might have helped his teammate out a bit there, got him the lead. Remember, Sauce is the owner of that team, Litsum, captain, if you will.
Right, yep.
And here comes Sharp and Pico the Gator.
What's going on here?
We got some side-by-side racing halfway back. Klein is the high side, leading the pack at the high line in the 21 car. Well, Draven got down. He pushed Big Jim below the yellow line. I don't know if he got loose or got pushed, but that caused a little separation. Now it's going to help out Chewy, who moves into 6th position. No, 4th, 5th, 7th. He's in 7th. If we do gather it back up as Klein got back down to the low line. Klein does want to go high, it looks like. If I were to guess, not talking to the man right now, he does want to get high. Take that however you want to take it. Unintentional. But, yeah. Gator Mike is gearing up. He has 2 of his teammates just behind him. Not sure where GTR Jacob in the 20 is at the moment. He's a little further back in the pack. But there goes the 18 up high. Nobody goes with him. His 2 teammates behind him don't even go with him. Not sure if Sharp is letting him back in as well here in turn number 4.
Yeah, he got back in line, yep.
Right now, the odd man out. You got 2 teammates leading the race. Mike Marini is by himself for his team up in the top here. Then you got 3 of the gas drivers just behind him working together. And then not only that, you have the 12 of Chewy. His teammate is a car behind the car behind him. So the Chewy's team is going to get together here, it looks like a little bit. He might have some help. So they're going to get organized. If Sauce can get the 48 of Sludge up to the front of the pack here, then that would be quite the battle with the 2 teams, the 2 leading teams. And also Big Jim, who's just kind of lingering in the middle of the pack at the moment. Chewy got tied in turn number 3, so that's going to actually cost him all those positions he had gained on the start. Draven's going to take the position down low, and his teammate Klein is going to push Draven. There's not much you can do about it. You can't really just jump out there and help your teammate. But the high line is starting to gather some momentum. There are some more cars up there. It's about even. Maybe 1 more car on the high line. There's 3 cars kind of hanging back. If they cannot lose this draft, they'll become a factor. But here they go. Out of turn 2, a bunch of them went back down to the bottom. It looks like the 42 just cannot decide who he wants to work with. He's working with everybody, but he also leaves everybody. Oh, the 4 went high, stuck in the hole, and that put the 20 in the wall. That put Jacob and the... Oh, who else? That was a red car behind him, I think. Also got in the wall. Are they going to lose the draft? Jacob was the red car. White and red, number 20.
Yep.
Is he going to lose this draft off the 22? He might have. Jacob might be out here. The 48 is dropping back. Maybe he's trying to help him out. Probably not, honestly. But, yeah, the 20 is about to lose this draft completely. Bit of a bunch up, though, here on the bottom. And not for nothing, if you know that your team, if you're leading the race with 2 cars and you know your teammate might be losing the draft, hey, check it up a little bit. Maybe they do that.
Right.
Doesn't look like they are, though. The guys in the back, the 48, the 10, the 22, they keep swapping positions. Nobody wants to follow back here. Nobody wants to be the last car in line. The 22, a college fan, now jumped out. But 2 cars aren't going to make it. Poor Jacob. Got put in the wall when Draven... I don't know if Draven was trying to change lanes or if he got loose or something, but that really took out the 20 car. Sharp is backing up a lot too now. It's almost causing a second pack. The 19 is now up high. He's following... Oh, that's 12? No, that's the 18. The teammates. A lot of yellow cars in the field today. Oh, Mike, he went down low. He cleared himself, but he got a little too close to the 12 bumper. Did get the 18 out of shape momentarily.
"24 laps remaining."
Good call. With some is your team leaders here. 2 cars out front, Mike G and Long Live the Sauce. Mike Marini of Eclipse is in 3rd. 4th place is Klein. That team needs a good run for sure. What is it? Oh, Black Bear Racing, right? Am I wrong?
Right, yep, for Chewy's team, yes, sir.
And then Big Jim sitting there in 5th, who would love to just skip these 2 cars ahead of him and get with his teammates in 1st and 2nd. Sludge is working hard in the back of the pack. I see him as we look backwards. But those 2 cars might be losing the draft if they don't get their stuff together. The 22 of Collie Fan keeps making high moves. He's just waiting for somebody to jump out in front of him. Nobody's done it. Oh, looks like the 41 got high. I didn't even notice that for a second. Mike Marini lost a bunch of slots here, and now Klein has found himself into 3rd place in that 21 Ford. I'll have to go back and watch the replay. I don't know if he got out of shape or the 21 got underneath him. They'll tell you, you leave that window open a tiny bit, and if that guy's close enough to you, he's going to get underneath it.
Exactly. You're right there.
Yeah, 41 lost a lot of spots. He's in 9th or 10th now. After running 3rd most of the stage. Yeah, about Sludge and Calling Fan are in the back of the pack, and they're just hoping anybody goes high in front of them. And they feel like that might be their only strategy here. But not for nothing, guys screw up back there all the time. And if you're in the last couple of spots, all you got to do is be patient. All you got to do is run the bottom. You keep running the bottom, I guarantee you with all these laps left, the guys in front of you, they're going to slip up, you're going to get underneath them, and you're going to pick them off one by one. They keep backing up and trying to get something going on the high side, and they lose a bit of the draft. They got to get back in line. I mean, I've watched the 48 almost lose the draft at least 3 times. I'm nervous he's going to lose the draft anyway. From this angle, I guess it might be tough to tell.
Right.
We already lost the 20 car, and he's not even. I'm looking back from the leaders. You can't even see the 20 on screen anymore. Unfortunate.
Speaking of the 20, he just came down pit road.
Well, that might be his only shot. Hit a little early and get off sequence. He's
Right.
the only car a lap down, so if there's an accident, he'll stay out. He'll get his lap back. He won't get the lead, but he'll get his lap back. Which he hasn't lost a lap yet. The guys haven't come around yet to lap him. They're coming close. Maybe if there is some mathematics to this, right? Especially at the super speedways. If you get far enough behind and you can catch back up and stay in the draft a lap down, that could do you a couple of favors there. At least keep you in the hunt. God forbid there's a caution flag. I don't think that's happening here, though.
I believe Jacob has parked her for the night. He hit his pit stall and he hasn't moved, so I believe he retired for the night. I'm sure he's probably a little warm, a little hot-headed or hot.
So he's a little warm.
Yeah, so unfortunate event. Another tough break for Jacob this year.
You might want to go to the beach because he's probably feeling a little salty. And look, it wasn't his fault. From what I could see, he didn't do anything wrong. He just got caught up in somebody else's circumstance.
Right.
And look, that's the worst way to go. I'll tell you, if I make a mistake and I wreck and that's it for me, so be it. I'm not even getting mad. It's my fault. I did it. I'll learn from it. But when you get caught up in somebody else's shenanigans, it's hard to let that go right away.
That bites a little more. Yep.
And I'm sure Draven didn't mean it, but whatever the case may be, it cost Jacob the race. Jacob, he only missed one race, Jacob, and he's 47 points from the line. So that's a big hit for him.
We're coming down here. It looks like, just to keep an eye out. I would say within the next 5 laps, you're going to start seeing that final round of pit stops. Got 17 laps to go in the race. Yeah, so I've been riding around here with the number 21 of Kleinboy up here running in the 3rd spot. So he's made his way back up to the front, Brick. I mean, he's been patient, just worked his way back up to the front.
Yeah, when the 41 got out of line, he was there to attack.
Right.
Like I was saying, just stay patient. There's a lot of laps left. Just keep your cool. Stay patient. Stay on that guy in front of you because the moment he slips up, you're going to be there to take it away from him.
Right.
That was how I moved up in the Xfinity race. That was how I kept my position in the Xfinity race. Just being patient, not worrying who wants to run the high side. I'm going to run my race. You just run your race out there. Good things will happen. Just keep yourself in position. Or you can be like Sludge, who's been running the high side by himself practically every other lap. But he's also still at the back of the pack. I mean, maybe that's by design. Maybe he's been saving fuel. Here goes the 88. He's going to give up the lead because he's been leading this whole stage practically. So he wants to save some fuel. Jim's going to let him in, go 3rd place. So Clyde will move up to 2nd. Long live the Sauce, captain of the Lipsum team. He's going to take the lead now in that Hooters Chevrolet. Chase Elliott special. You have a lap count for it, brother.
Yeah, like I said, you're going to be looking at. I'm waiting. Guys are coming down the back chute here. You're looking within like the next 4 laps. You're going to start seeing them. 4 to 5 laps. Start seeing guys pit. I'll get you a lap count here in 30 seconds. Not even. We are looking at 14 to go. So basically, these guys are going to come out with basically 10 laps. Will be at after they're completed. I'm thinking around 10 laps left in the race after they do their pit stops.
You know what the Chase Elliott special is, by the way? I just looked it up. The Chase Elliott special at Hooters is fried pickles and a pitcher of either domestic beer or Mountain Dew for $15. That's the Chase Elliott special if you go to Hooters.
Well, you can't go wrong with fried pickles and a pitcher of beer.
Or Mountain Dew.
Or Mountain Dew if you got the kids with, yep.
I mean,
personally, I would be enjoying the cold beer.
Do you know why Mountain Dew was invented, by the way?
How or when
the
or
entire
what?
reason Mountain Dew was invented,
yeah,
to mix with alcohol. It was invented for alcohol.
And it hardly gets mixed with alcohol now.
Well, when I was in college, it did.
Yeah.
And these guys are pitting. They're the ones who were pitting a little early. Like I said, the 88 did lead most of that stage. He spun getting into pit road. I don't know if that's going to cost the 88. It looks like it might have. Oh, yeah, he is backwards at the entrance of pit road. Mike G, huge points impacts here. If he cannot get back with this pack of cars.
Oh, that's a tough break for him, definitely being on the end of that playoff.
It's really tough to tell based on, what was happening on their screen and what we were seeing. The 9 is still sitting on pit road too. Oh no, if he got a speeding penalty for the 9, him and the 88 both getting screwed out here.
Another group coming down the pit. But that leaves the number 18, 19, 4, 11, and the 12. They are taking another lap. So now they've ran 2 extra laps from that first group.
That's amazing. Chewy's team pits this lap, but Chewy stays out with the Toyotas.
That's the story of Black Bear right there. Nothing against Chewy and his team, they do what they can, but yeah, it's kind of a surprising mood when your team goes to pit and you stay out.
Yeah, that's why I was bringing it up. I was pretty surprised. Klein came down, so did the 22, but you stayed out with the Toyotas. Okay. I mean, there might be strategy there if he can go the extra lap.
Here comes his last group.
I don't know how the math works out for these guys on the fuel runs. But
looks like they all got in there clean.
Now, it's going to be interesting who's going to end with this lead, especially since the pack, the Toyotas and Chewy are running 4 cars. They're still running fairly fast. There goes Wasted and Big Jim and Drunkfest around the 21 and 42. There goes Calling Fan. JCR clashing and Mike Marini now go around those 2 cars. They're going to hang on to the draft. This is big. They can hang on to this draft, the 21 car and the 42.
I think most of these guys are going to take 2 tires and a shot of gas, enough to get them through. Yeah, that's what it kind of looks like. They're all running about that 8-9 second pit stop. So yeah, basically it was 2 tires in the right sides and shot of gas.
Now, the Toyotas are not together. In fact, Chewy came out well behind those 3, but those 3 aren't exactly hooked up yet either. As they're coming up to speed out of turn number 2, the field of cars is now in turns 1 and 2. Chewy on the track in turn 3, a bit in the way here. And he he blocks the 42 here. Almost costed them, but the 12 is gonna be able to hang on to the draft. Calling Fan, his teammate, is trying to work with him to help him, but that might cost him the draft as well.
So Sharp is your leader.
They were able to stay in front.
They're able to hang on to that.
Draven.
Oh, they do have a run on the outside, though. We'll see if they... It's a 4-on-3.
There goes Wasted now.
Yep, Wasted's going to get it. Big Jim. They could drop down and take it, and that's what they do. Oh, and they're still... The 48 has made his way. They're kind of beating and banging.
That. Finally, SMK Sludge has made it to the top of the field. Here he is in the top 3. Looking at a podium finish if we ended it right now. But unfortunately, the 9 and the 88 are well behind. They are at least together. And they're catching the 10 of Turf Tech. So the 3 of them should be able to work together. They're not going to catch the field, but at least they won't lose a ton. And if there is a caution flag, then they'll be able to reset. But as of right now, Turf Tech, Lon Levensoft, and Mike G are not factors for the win here at Talladega.
I wonder what happened there with that group, that last group that pitted. 19 and P. Cola came in with those guys. And now I'm on him, and he's running towards the back. He's actually got Sauce and Mike G there coming up to him. So I don't know if he got hit with speeding too.
That wasn't Turf Tech. Yeah, that was Pete Cola, not Turf Tech. That means he might have had a speeding penalty as well. Now the 88 didn't have a speeding penalty. He got spun at the entrance to pit road.
Okay, yeah.
The 9 looked like he didn't have a speeding penalty. Remember, I was nervous the last time they pit, but this time he surely did. Now Pete Cola is going to get past. He's going to be able to hang on to their draft. Still, that'll be 3 of them, and it'll be better than running around by yourself. But they're not going to catch the field. I don't know what Turf Tech is, right? Turf Tech is all by himself. He's behind even those 3 cars. So
Turf Tech's had a rough night, unfortunately.
So, some news in the middle of the pack, though, if you go back to the leaders, the 4 of Draven and the 41 of Mike Marini teammates, they are together, and they have the 21 of Kleinboy just behind them. Looks like Chewy did end up losing this draft, by the way. Calling Fan is hanging on to the end of it. But the 12 car, he'll eventually be caught by those other 3 cars we were talking about earlier. So Litzum is the top. Oh, I'm sorry, never mind. Scratch that. The 3 car Wasted is the leader. You have Litzum running 2nd and 3rd. Then you have Gas running 3rd and 4th.
6 to go, Brink.
6 laps to go. You got the 4 of Draven and Mike Marini for Eclipse just behind the Toyotas. And you got Kleinboy running by himself. He might be helping the 41 of the 4, though. A couple of Ford family drivers here. And you got Clashin, JCR Clashin, and the 42, and then the 22 of Calling Fan, who will work with the 21, obviously, and probably the other Fords. That's what we're looking at as we get to 5 to go when they cross the line this time by. And Gator Mike is hungry. Is he going to make a maneuver to get this win? Wasted, who's a fill-in driver, by the way, for a few weeks now in that number 3 car, is he looking to get a win? I don't know if he's won before at this level.
He might have picked up a win.
But he built a 42 car last year, right?
Yes. If I'm right, if I'm corrected, yes.
Boy, if Klein isn't careful, the 1 is going to take that position from him. Up there it goes. Right out of turn number 4. The Klein he just couldn't hold the bottom line, and the 1 was there, and like I said before, you slip up just a little bit, and that guy's close enough, you're losing that spot. Now, if he's backing off and he's burping his accelerator to save gas or what have you, you probably have a little room to maneuver. But when they're like this, all tightly bunched bumper to bumper, you cannot make a mistake. Now, at least the 22 and the 21 will be together. But if they had their teammate in Chewy right there, that would have been such a big benefit to them.
They are going to be coming up on a lap car. I seen him in the camera view.
Is getting a little beaten and a banging here. He physically moved the 41 that time, going into turn number 3. He was just about below that yellow line. In fact, I would beg. Oh, the 21 got below the 42, trying to almost the same maneuver there. But he gets back in the line behind Mopala Cat. I would be inclined to look at that replay to see if the 1 dipped his tires below the yellow line, even just a little bit. But right now, we are full speed here. Coming down to the last couple of laps. That's why guys are making moves. He's below the 4. Draven slipped up, and here comes the 1 again. He's going to take that 5th position. He doesn't look too happy about it either. So both the Clips drivers get shuffled out of the pack here. They go to the rear of the field, rear of this pack anyway. Now does the one car have the gall to do it to the 18? I don't know if Gator Mike will be as easy to pass that way. As you see, the 18 is right on that yellow line.
2 to go.
But Wasted hanging on to that lead in the 3 car. Boy, seeing the 3 car win at the Talladega, and that is always something special. There's Turf Tech up high. He'll stay out of the way, and these guys will go flying by. Here they come. Single file. Wasted still has it at the line. How many to go, Butters?
Can he hold on?
1
to go.
One to go. Last lap?
Yep.
Well, there
White
you go.
flag.
Tech staying out of the way. Good job by the 10. Still single file. Wasted trying to block it high so nobody can get a run. He still maintains that bottom line, though. Turf Tech being there, I mean, he's out of the way, but it does not allow somebody to go high right there. Now Marini goes high from the back of the pack, trying to pull some draft off of anybody who might also go high, but nobody does. Last lap, turn 4. Here we come into the tri-oval. The 3 leads the 24, the 48, the 11.
There's some dice in here.
Positions not changing a little bit. The 48 might have pulled that out. Wow. Really tough to tell. Really tough to tell. He did. SMK Sludge wins the race at Talladega. Big Jim second. Third goes to Sharp. Where'd the 3 car was not on the lead lap that whole time. Wasted was not on the lead lap at all.
Oh man.
Incredible. He was a rabbit. They were using him. Yeah, Wasted the first car lap down in 15. Oh man, we thought he had a chance for the win. He's 15.
Right.
But yeah, you get 2 Litsum and 1 gas driver. Huge, by the way, Sharp and Picola. Picola had his pit road troubles at the end. Sharp finishes 3rd. You might see a new point pool. I don't know. What are the point differences there?
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see how the stage points shaked out.
So there's your top 3. 4th place goes to Gator Mike. 5th place goes to Mopower Celtics. 6th place goes to JCR Clashin. All that work, he still ended up in 6th. Clyde Boy is in 7th. Call Fan 8th. 9th goes to Mike Marini. And Draven rounds out the top 10. Sick. Fastest lap. I don't know who that went to. You guys are already leaving the room. It may have been Mopower Celtics. I don't know. Well, you gotta get them in here.
Yeah, if they join. We'll see if we'll give them a couple minutes, see if anybody joins. I believe Sludge is in here. I'll look at the party.
points. And I just want to say, I mean, more than that, I'm just so psyched for my teammate in Sludge. He got the call up very late. He didn't even know he was racing this thing tonight. And he came up here and he won the race. So big shout out to Sludge.
Right. Brick, you got anything for?
Yeah, so Jim, I mean, I know he's your teammate, but looking at Mike G's issues, that pretty much puts you in the playoffs now. And I'm not sure if you caught how much closer you got Mike Marini, who also kind of dropped further back in the pack. Drumfest wasn't in this race, was he?
He wasn't. No, I don't know what happened. We were trying to get him in the
he's
Blitz
further
chat.
ahead. He's 56 points above the cut line, so I'm sure you didn't pass him yet. But, I mean, maybe I don't know actually. So yeah, I mean, I think you're pretty much in the playoffs now. I wouldn't even be too concerned.
I would, because I know how good some of those guys are at Texas. Draven, back in one of those other leagues, he was just insanely fast at Texas. So I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch. I'm going to have to still put in a good race next week and hopefully have a chance at the postseason. I want to avenge what happened last season.
Right, definitely.
For sure.
You have a lot of guys for that. And, so I was just going to say Gator Mike, he ended up 4th place.
Yeah.
And Sauce and Jacob and Draven didn't have the best night. So Gator Mike's going to get a little closer to the playoffs as well. So it's getting really tight right at the cutoff line.
Yeah, it is getting close. And I also wanted to mention, I don't know if y'all knew this, but Litsum, we just swept Daytona in the Cup, or not Daytona, Super Speedways in the in season 5 or season 3 of Cobra. So that's a little bit of trash talk, and is both the 48 car. So big time.
Teresa Earnhardt is proud.
Yes, she is.
I just want one last comment though before we let Jim go. Is like you said, you guys talk about playoffs. Blakey T not racing, Draven Drunk not around. I mean, if anything, it just made this playoff race going into Texas that much tighter.
It's going to be exciting.
It definitely will.
The top 3 are good to go, but everybody else is going to be up for grabs.
Oh, and you're going to have that top, them 2 battling up front, P and to claim that regular season point champion. So it's going to be big all the way through, I think. But anyways, like I said, we're going to give a shout out. Congratulations again, Jim. It's always a pleasure to have you racing Friday nights with us here at Cobra. And like I said, good luck on the rest of the year. Hopefully we'll talk to you next week again from Texas and see where hopefully you end up in that top 8 somewhere playoffs as that starts.
Yep, definitely, Butters. Thank you for doing the broadcast, you and Brink.
No problem,
hey, no worries. Appreciate it.
I think it's Jim or Clashin that are leading the league in interviews, by the way. Top 3 finishes.
Yeah, we should start keeping track of that stat. Anyways, we're gonna move on here. We're gonna move on to our race winner, Sludge. Privileged to actually get a chance to actually talk to you for the first time here. So, man, great race. We were watching you out there. I believe it was either the beginning of stage 3 or end of stage 2. We seen you in the back there, right in the back, kind of. We see you go high by yourself back there, and then you come back down. But man, I mean, you were in the right spot at the right time, and you squeaked that out. We were thinking the whole time that Wasted was leading that race. We didn't know he was a lap down till the end, but still, great move there at the end to pick up that victory, man. Congratulations, and tell me about it a little bit.
Well, you pretty much called it right there in the first 2 stages. I just pretty much I was trying to make the middle high side work on the big long runs I had in the back, but no one kept going. Everybody kept staying low because that's where everybody apparently likes, and I hate it. And so stage 1, fall in the back. Stage 2, fall in the back. Stage 3 came along. I was pretty much was clashing pretty much with Celtics somewhat, and then we had a strategy, so we pitted. I feel bad for Sauce. He had a speeding penalty, and so he couldn't have a good finish also. But my pit stop on that long run was right on. I came out behind Jim, and we just pretty much set sails 1-2 for a long time. During stage 3, it's the finale. I was watching the 11 and 18 because I know they're going to work together. I was going to work with my teammate. I was actually going to push Jim to the win. I wasn't going to take it from him. But with the laps counting down, I was watching 11 and 18 work together, trying to get that big run. When 11 backed off, I backed off just to protect my teammate somewhat. And then when the last lap came along, he backed off in the back straightaway, something like that. And then I backed off. We both got good runs. He had a bigger run. And then when he made his move, I was watching when he made his move. I made my move, block. But instead of him going higher up to keep the momentum, he hit me instead. And I had to thank him for letting me make me win the race. But he's pissed off from doing that because of my late block. But I don't think it was late. I think it was a perfect block. But I'm glad that I won and a teammate got second. And I want to thank Sauce for getting me the last second to race. Because a teammate that was supposed to be racing didn't jump in the last second, so I jumped in, and that looks like I won the race right there.
Yeah, hell of a job for getting a hot seat shot. So yeah, good point there. I didn't realize that you were actually hot seating that car tonight. So
yeah, and it's my final night too for the hot seat. That was the final one. That's my 4th race.
Oh wow. Okay, so way to get it done.
Yeah, you get it done. Hopefully, then that's your spot. Obviously, he's gonna have to find a spot for you up in the cup. I don't know if it's gonna be the 48.
I say if I choose to jump at the cup,
right.
I'm chasing points right now for Xfinity.
Right.
So not everybody knows this, but Sludge drives for me in another league that we drive in, and I've been able to work with him this season a lot. And I just got to tell everybody that's listening, Sludge here is one of the best strategists that there are on this game, in this sport. And it's a pleasure working with you, and it's really nice to see you pull out this victory. Now knowing it was your last chance to do so makes it even that much more special. So, big props, big congratulations there. And, getting that 48 car in the victory lane, I'm sure you like that.
Yeah, I prefer the 88, but
yeah,
48 will work.
So just I saw you back there. You were running, the second to last car in line, and I was mentioning it during the broadcast that you kept going high, like, hey, I'm here, and if anybody jumps out there, I'll be behind you. But nobody was taking. But what was it about that pit stop? Was it because the 9 and the 88 had their troubles that kind of opened the window for you guys to get out in front, or was it, were you planning something the whole time?
No, I was not planning anything. I was just trying to push. I was clashing almost 90% of the race, and then I was trying to push him with big runs that we keep doing, but he kept going to the bottom, and I wanted to go to the high side, so I kept going to the high side with these big runs of my own. But during that pit stop, we timed it just right, but two people in our chat, one sped and one spun out in pit entrance. So I kind of had my advantage of going in because I stayed on the track when I was pitting because everybody was scattered all over. So I stayed on the track, got my speed down to a decent speed, and then I pretty much went in front of, I think, Jim a little bit by a bumper, and then he got me coming off. Then we just set sail.
Nice. I mean, sometimes it's just the way it works out. Like somebody famous once said, the best you can hope for is to put yourself in a position to win, and that's what you did. That's exactly what you did, and you were there. You were ready, and you and Jim. Now, I got to admit, we didn't know the entire time that Wasted was a lap down. So we were sitting here like, oh wow, look at Wasted leading the field, good for him. And we didn't realize he was just in the way playing rabbit for you guys.
Well, I like to thank him because he pretty much helped Jim mostly, and I was
right. He was the reason you guys even got to the front of the field.
Yeah.
So assist goes to the 3-car.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay.
Well, good job, man. Like I said, it's really great working with you over in the other league, and I'm happy to see you doing as well as you're doing, leading the Xfinity points right now, winning your 4th start in the Cup Series, and I think come next season with this league, you're going to be a force to reckon with when you move up. I'm assuming safely, I think, that you're moving up to Cup next season.
Yeah, we'll see. I have to talk about it though.
Okay, so I just want to say once again, hell of a job, Sludge. Congratulations on your victory tonight, and like I said, it was really great to be able to get a chance to actually chat with you for the first time.
Yep.
I know, like I said, I've raced with you a couple times in the other leagues, and never really had a chance to ever talk to you. But like I said, appreciate you coming out racing Cobra on Friday nights. Like I say every week, I appreciate all the guys that show up every Friday night to run Cobra. Me and the rest of the admins totally appreciate it. We say we got one, I never really brag too much about Cobra, but I do believe we have a lot of talent here. Sometimes it gets dicey, with the guys trying to push their way to the front, but overall, for as much talent that's here, I really enjoy doing the broadcast here for the Cup, watching you guys out there running. So, like I said, once again, appreciate you showing up on Friday nights to do this. And again, congratulations on that victory, bud.
Thank you.
Yeah, good job, Jim, and good job, Sharp. I know he's not here, but congrats on another top 3.
Yeah, shout out to Sharp for finishing that 3rd spot. So
he was 9 plus 7. He was 16 points behind Pete Colligator coming into the race. There's a good shot here. He's going to take over the lead.
if I know Mike, if it's tight, he might have points up tonight yet. For sure, he'll be up tomorrow morning. So, but with that, we might as well bring her to an end. I want to thank Brink again for joining me here in the booth to bring another exciting race here from Talladega. Any final thoughts there, Brink?
No, I mean, it's super speedway racing. This is what we've come to expect of what's going to happen at a track like this. Talladega has a little more space, so you can sometimes get a little bit more excitement, but when you're in a field of such talented drivers and everybody kind of knows everybody and everybody knows who they're going to work with, this is sort of what happens. But it came down to a really close finish at the end, and a surprise finish, if you will, and a really nice little storyline. So it all kind of always works out at the end.
Yeah, right, for sure. And like you said, it just makes it more exciting. Next week we go into Texas here for our final regular season race. To determine after the next Friday night about this time, we'll know what our top 8 is, I believe. We'll know, kind of figure out who's going to start the following week in the playoffs. Obviously, I take that back. I believe we got the All-Star week in between Texas and the start of the playoffs. So, Sauce has got some details for that. But I believe that's coming to you from Homestead. I believe that's where it's going to be happening. But, like I said, super excited. We're going to come into that last race. We got, that last race. It's actually cool that it's going to mean something. So, with that, guys, we're gonna shut her down for tonight. Like I said, again, thank Brink for joining me. This is Butters here, and we'll see you guys all next week. Have a safe weekend and take care. And we'll see you next week live from Texas.